Hey guys, this is just a vlog I've decided to do because I finally watched the Cinema Snob movie. Yeah, there's only, as far as my knowledge, there's only one place that you can get this movie, and that's at walkawayentertainment.com. It costs around about 20 bucks or something like that, which accounts to about £12 in the UK. And it's about $5 for shipping, and that's, so basically around about £3 or £3 or something like that, so it's about 15 quid overall. And if you're in the States, $25, so it's not bad, but yeah, I would pick it up actually. It is actually, I did really like this movie, I really enjoyed it. Of course there are one or two little negatives here and there, but I'll get to them last. First I want to discuss the positives, but if Brad, I know this might sound really stupid, actually hang on, I'm going to turn this TV off. The lighting just went really weird there. I know this might sound really stupid, but if Brad Jones, if you do get the chance to watch this, then, you know, for one thing, it'll be awesome, you know. But I am a really big fan of Brad Jones's work. 80s Dan, I love 80s Dan, that's really funny. I love the Brad Try stuff, and of course I love the Cinema Snob reviews. It was really cool. And at times it does make you feel a little pretentious, you know, finding out about these kinds of movies, you know. So, you know, I do really like a lot of Brad Jones's work, and Cinema Snob movies no exception. I haven't seen Paranoia, admittedly though the only reason I haven't seen it is because it's not really my kind of movie. I'm not really into psychological thrillers, I'm not really into that kind of stuff. I'm sure it's a good movie, but it's not really my kind of movie. But this is definitely my kind of movie actually. I like how it, you know. But let's just go through the points actually. First we'll talk about the acting. The acting was actually quite good. Brad Jones did a really good job. He was really good at it. The really funny thing about it is that it didn't even seem like he was acting. It just seemed like he was just like, you know, being honest. And I liked how he put across the message that he was trying to put across in the movie. Like, look at this, I'm analysing the movie, there's the whole fucking point of this movie. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute, but whatever. What else? Jillian, I'll be honest, I can't pronounce her last name. I'll say Jones because she's married to Brad. So whatever. Jillian did a really good job, and what's really funny about her is that, once again, it didn't even seem like she was acting, it just seemed like she was playing herself. It's almost as if Brad just wrote this movie as if to say, what would Jillian say in this situation, you know? I don't know, that's what I got from it anyways. What else? The other people in the movie, Ed Glazer's in the movie, and he doesn't really play much of a part, but he is quite good in it. He plays like a creepy cinema lover, like he loves like Jesus movies, like movies that involve Jesus and shit. And he was quite funny for the few scenes that he was in. I think he was only in like one or two scenes, and he like was in the foreground. It was like he's sort of in a scene, but he didn't really say anything, kind of thing. And there was one or two scenes where he was speaking and whatnot, and it was quite cool. Who else is in the movie? I can't remember a lot of the last names of these people, so you're gonna have to forgive me. Sarah, she was in, she's in a bunch of videos with Brad. She was in the movie, and she was actually really good in it. She was really good in it as well. She was, you know, I liked how he was cast, you know, he had a bunch of his friends, you know, so I really liked that. Ryan Mitchell, who also directed the movie, he plays a pretentious film snob, and he actually, at first I was kind of like, I don't know actually, but then before I went into the movie, the more I actually started to like the character, because, although at the same time I liked him, but at the same time I fucking hated him. He was an absolute dick. I wanted him to die, you know? But he was really good in it, you know, he was actually quite a good actor in the movie. But, God, who else? I'll be honest, I'm terrible with names a lot of the time, but everybody else did a really good job. The guy who plays the killer, I cannot remember his name, I swear, but he was really good in it, and his speech, the little speech thing that he does at the end about, you know, his father and whatnot, that was really good. I really liked that. So yeah, he was really good in it, and the cast was actually quite good in it, you know. And then, what was it, Brian made like a brief appearance in the movie for a character that no one even talks to, and then he immediately gets killed off, and it's fucking brilliant. But yeah, everybody did a really good job in the movie, so the cast I have no problem with. The writing was the writing, the script was solid. I thought the script was great. It was really funny. It was really clever as well. I loved how, you know, like the whole thing about how, you know, people were like in the movie they discuss things about opinions and being overly pretentious about movies, and you know, it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, you like what you like. You don't have to like something just because someone else said that it was really good. It's just about liking what you like, you know. You know, for example, I may like this movie, and I'm sure a load of other people do, but you never know. There might be someone out there who might not like it. You never know. There might be some prick who doesn't get it. Whatever. So yeah, it was really well written. It was really funny. I loved all the references to a lot of movies, like Violent Shit, for example. I love the thing about Sallow, like whenever I would sit down to watch Sallow in the movie. That was really funny. But yeah, it was really funny, really well written, very clever, and I really liked how it was written. It was really funny, and I was laughing like every 5 minutes. You know, it was really fun. Next point would be the cinematography. Actually, I really liked how this movie looked. It's a very nice looking movie. I loved a lot of the shots and whatnot. It was really nicely shot, and I really liked how it looked. And that was one thing I was really hoping for. Actually, I didn't want to have. I know I'm going to sound like nitpicky here, but I didn't want to. I was hoping that the movie would at least look kind of like a 70s almost espionage thriller kind of thing, you know, going for it. Like the shots outside and the streetlights, just kind of. It was really nicely shot. I really liked how it looked. So yeah, that's one thing I really liked about another thing I really liked about the movie. Oh, what else? I mean, I think I've basically covered all the basics, haven't I? I like the sets. The kills I thought were really funny, and I really don't know what else to say. I mean, I thought it was just I really liked that. I think that covers all the stuff I really liked about the movie. Now for the negative stuff, and this is very small list, and some of it is just me nitpicking, I know, but this is the way I am. I nitpick the fuck out of stuff, and I hope anyone who really liked this movie can forgive me. And I really liked it, don't get me wrong, I really liked this movie. It's just little things got on my nerves. The way the sound, the way the sound was recorded, like for example, at times the sound got really quiet after one or two shots, and it was really jarring. It was really weird. And then there was times when, say, like for example, there was a scene where Spoonie and Jake and Brad are in a car and they're all talking, and every time it cut to Jake you could hear the sound of like the engine in the background. You could hear a bunch of noise in the background, but when it cut to Jake and Spoonie there was no noise. So the way the sound was recorded at times was a little iffy, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the time it was out of their control. There's a lot of shots that they had in the movie, obviously, where the sound was just completely out of their control and they couldn't handle it. So I can't, like I say, I'm just nitpicking here, but you know, it's just a point I thought I'd raise. Because anyway, this movie is obviously incredibly low budget. It was just filmed on a shoestring budget, you know, and for that I give it props, you know, the fact that they actually went through with it. And they did it, you know, and it was, and the fact that it's, you know, it's available. You could buy this, you know, and it's got some special features. The outtakes are really funny, by the way. And so yeah, but you know, that's just a little point I want to make. I'm sure I'm probably gonna get a bunch of people, but that's just me, you know. You like what you like, you know. But I like this movie. Don't get me wrong. God, I'll get to another point in a minute, but the other point was. There was one thing I had to say I didn't like about the movie, and it might just be me not getting a joke, but there's a scene, right, where everyone asks, like, where did Candy go? There's a character in the movie called Candy, she's played by Sarah. Hang on, what's her last name? Sarah Lewis, of course. Doy. I can't believe I can't remember her fucking name. I'm useless. I watch those fucking things all the time. Whatever. So Sarah Lewis, her character. Everyone asks like, where the hell did she go? And then we cut to her on an island beach, like, you know, just laying back, getting the tan on and shit. And I was like, okay, it was kind of funny, but the fucking green screen, man. I get it, that was the only way you could do it, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, couldn't you have done something like maybe, I don't know, maybe shot her outside an airport hauling a taxi or something, dressed in something ridiculous that looked really expensive or something? I don't know, just something to avoid the whole beach thing, which would have resulted in the green screen. Anything that resulted in the green screen. Oh my god. That's the only thing I didn't like about the movie. Yeah, I know I mentioned the sound, but that, while it did kind of bother me, I was willing to accept it because, you know, it's a low budget film and there were certain things that were out of their control, you know. So I was willing to forgive that. The thing is that the green screen, they could have avoided it, that's the thing. God. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm sounding like a dick, but, you know, that's just my view on the movie. That's just my view on it. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But, that's the... Oh, jeez. I know, I'm making such a big deal out of this. But that's the only thing I didn't like about this movie. You know, was that. You know, if I had one more nitpick, it would be the first kill in the movie when a guy gets stabbed in the back. It was the sound effect I thought was a bit wonky, but then again it might just be taking a piss. I don't know. I guess I'm an idiot. I don't know, but you know, but the sound effect I thought was like, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! But you know, that was the only thing. So those were the only things I didn't really like about the movie. I was willing to accept the sound. I just figured I'd bring it up. You know, no, don't get me wrong. I didn't hate the sound. I just figured I'd bring it up. You know, because it's obviously low budget. The green screen, I'm sorry guys, but you could have avoided it, you know? unless it was deliberate, I don't know, but I don't know, that's the thing, I don't know, was it deliberate? Was it meant to look really bad? Because I somehow doubt Brad and Ryan, or, you know, like, I somehow doubt that Brad and Ryan watched the cut of this movie and went, that looks great, you know? So I get the feeling that it probably was meant to be really bad, you know, so I'm probably just talking shite, to be honest. But, what else? Yeah, and little sound effect, I can live with this. So like I said, the only real flaws I could pick in this movie were just little nitpicks, you know. But overall, yeah, I would recommend... Oh yes, of course, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Spoonie's character. Spoonie was awesome in this movie. He was fucking hilarious. I just love how fucking, you know, he plays a rich guy and he's fucking awesome in it. He was my favourite character, if I'm honest. He wasn't in enough of this movie. I wish he was in more of it, you know, but, you know, that's just my thing. But, like I say, but, you know, that's just like, so he was awesome, you know. But, yeah, I would buy it. Of course I would, duh. But, yeah, I would highly recommend getting a hold of this movie. It's, I guess you could say it's like modern day exploitation, you know, it's pretty much what it is. So, yeah, you know, I would recommend this, yeah, I mean, and it's not confusing, you know, anyone could watch it, you know, so, yeah, I would recommend it, so yeah. If you get the chance, go to walkawayentertainment.com and pick yourself up a copy. Could do worse. Could watch Transformers 3. Or Breaking Dawn Part 1. Fuck, that was awful. Anyways, so thanks very much for watching this review. I'm now going to cut to the Cinema Snob doing a review of this movie. Or me playing a Cinema Snob. I found this movie to be absolutely appalling. A movie like this should have just been the footage of Sallow repeated over and over again. Or even just constant references to Caligula, the greatest movie ever made, I will have you know. So, no. Thumbs down. I'm not watching this movie ever again, even though I forked out $25 for it. Haha.